Allison Meredith with Holston and Garner IT. Thanks for joining us today. This is session 3 in a 10-part webinar series, and we're talking today about online video games, offline video games. We're going to talk today and tomorrow about just some sample games that kids and teenagers really enjoy playing today. And we got lots of questions on that. So with that, I'd like to hand it off to one of my guests today. Nick here is going to be talking about a few things. So Nick, let me hand it off to you.
All right, let me share my screen real quick. So we had this question on a survey we sent out to everyone. Tell me more about the most popular digital games. How do kids interact with others on the game? What are the benefits and cautions? And we're going to be addressing this question, but I want to have a disclaimer before we start. We're not discussing online chatting and communication. That is definitely not today.
Right, we'll do that another time. Yeah, coming up. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. It's a very important discussion to have, but it's a little bit separate from interaction. There's more to interaction than just chatting and communicating. So we're going to talk about the other aspects of interaction and push chatting and communication to another day.
We definitely want to spend a lot of time on that because it's important. So again, just for a future session, specifically later, we'll talk about what it's like to interact with people online, what boundaries you should have, how can you talk to your kids about it, how can you be safe, how can you be polite. But today we're talking about how some games work, what the goals and agendas are of people who are playing the game, and how you interact with other players just within the game itself.
If you have any questions about either topic, chatting and communication, or the gameplay and how you interact that way, definitely leave any questions on both. We might not get to the chatting and communications questions, but it'll help for our planning of that session. Our first game, we're going to talk about the hit Massive Online Battle Arena game. It's called a MOBA. That's what it stands for, Massive Online Battle Arena. Hit game, League of Legends. And I'm actually going to hand it off to Sylvia, who has some things to say.
Oh, man, right. So the games that we're going to give an overview of for you today are just a sample. We're going to be talking about Minecraft and Fortnite. So that is perfect. Somebody typed that in the chat. But the games we're going to be talking about are just a sample. There are a ton of different games that are available for your kids to play, and they're all going to operate differently. But hopefully this can just give you an idea of the scope of games and the objectives. So like it says on the PowerPoint, League of Legends here is a team-based battle game. It has a longer play time. It'll take you about 30 to 40 minutes. So basically how you play is you load into a game. You get to pick different characters to play. This person, Mr. Cheese Gaming here with the low green health bar, he chose to play a wolf guy who runs around and eats people. But I believe I'm going to share my own screen so that I can show a video.
So I should interject here and say that the oldest Meredith kids love playing League of Legends. And as a mom, I actually am delighted to hear them sitting next to each other on different computers, talking with each other. There's a lot of strategy that goes on in this game and a lot of team building and communication. So in terms of advantages, I am convinced that League of Legends really does build some communication benefits and just how to work together as a team. I've seen that in my own kids.
Thanks, Mom. So basically, if you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, I wonder if I can use my laser pointer. Nick, can you see my mouse okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. In the bottom right-hand corner here, it has kind of a map of the whole playing arena. So at each corner, there's a giant crystal, and your goal is to fight off the other players, such as this player right here with the red health bar. This player with the green health bar, that's me. Your goal is to kill other players, kill turrets, and then finally make it to the enemy base. So this is kind of a top-down game, and like Mom mentioned, there's lots of strategy. You got to figure out where you should be at the right time, and that's how you're gonna interact with each other.
So tell me a little more about how you're interacting with those. So you're saying where you are in the middle of the screen. Are other players on your team throughout that map, or y'all all kind of at the same place, Sylvia? Or
oh yeah. So in this little part of the game, I'm just fighting against 2 players on the red team here. They're both working together. They're trying to kill me, but they're also trying to kill my turret, which you can sometimes see in the bottom left-hand corner when I get a little closer. So right here, I die dramatically. But right as I die, here comes my teammate, this little blue guy on the left side here. And if he had been there a little earlier, he could have helped me not die, perhaps. But we don't.
So the advantages of or the style of League of Legends is sort of a longer strategy. You have to coordinate with your teammates. And if we can move on, Sylvia, unless you have
absolutely, yeah. So just advantages, strategy, working with your teammates, trying to figure out where you can be at the right times to help them out.
We have a few more games. The next game we're going to talk about is, and if you have any questions about League of Legends, leave it in the chats, tactical shooters. And you probably have heard of like first-person shooter. That's the style of gameplay. You can see here some images of the user interface. So this is what your kid would be seeing when he plays. And lots of games have tactical shooter gameplay enabled. So Halo, Call of Duty, you can play tactical shooter games with those games. It's a little complicated, but we're going to talk about 2 specific tactical shooters, Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege, and they're very similar. Like League of Legends, you play on a team, you try to fight each other off, you try to get to a zone and control it. It's a little different. You don't destroy a crystal, you capture and maintain a zone, or maybe you're defusing a bomb, something like that. They're a lot shorter in their gameplay, so it's hard to see. Well, yeah, you generally play several matches. Maybe in the lower left picture, you can see there's 2 numbers. In the top middle of the picture, there's a 2 and a 0, and that's the number of matches. You generally play about 5 matches for a game, and each match is between 3 and 5 minutes for both styles of games, for Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege. The collaborative element is very similar to League. You have to organize a team strategy to defeat the opposing team. The maps are smaller, and the gameplay is quicker. And that's the main difference, along with where your screen is focused.
So in the gameplay for League of Legends, it's about a 40-minute game. Is that correct?
Correct. So League of Legends is longer.
Right. You got to kind of wait in line to make sure you've got enough, 8 people to play a League of Legends game?
Right. So you need 10 people. You have 5 on each team. You need to collect 10 people. And there's no robots playing these games, so you have to wait around until you get 10 online people who will play with you. Same thing for Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege. You have to wait around in a queue for those people to show up. And if you leave, well, okay, any questions about either of these 2 games? They're similar in their strategy and different in their the way that you play them. You can see clearly by the video Sylvia showed you and the pictures here. The gameplay is a little different. Our next game style is Battle Royale, and you've probably heard of Fortnite, and maybe some of your kids play Fortnite. Battle Royale is another way of saying free-for-all or every man for himself. It's you versus the rest of the players, and you can have between 40 to 100 people in a game of Fortnite. It can be pretty big. You're dropped in the middle of the map. Oh, I'm sorry. Dropped in the middle of the map, and you hunt around for weapons and equipment. You can see some in the bottom right corner of that picture. You can see like a pickaxe. There's a potion. There's some of his weapons, some guns. You pick up the equipment. You hunt around for players. You try to be the last man standing. And there's not a lot of player interaction in terms of strategy with this game as compared to the others. You can definitely play with people and do like a voice chat or do or chat with people while you play Fortnite. But the gameplay itself and the game itself does not require any strategic coordination or interaction with other players. The interaction that you need is defeating them and becoming the champion. Our last game.
And we just have a comment from someone that, her kids do chat with friends during play. So you can see that is possible, but am I understanding correctly, Nick? It's not part of the strategy to win. It's just more just kind of hanging out with friends.
It's just like if you called your high school, your buddies when you were in high school, and you just sat on the couch and played them. Sometimes you call and talk while you were playing Fortnite. It's not multitasking, but they're not exactly related. You don't need to talk with friends to play Fortnite or to strategize. It's not required.
Versus the others you just said, League and Halo and some others do kind of require this team interaction of some sort.
Right. The tactical shooters and the League of Legends style games, you do need some team coordination. This one, it's solo. You're by yourself, and so you don't need it. Sylvia's going to talk about our last game, which is Minecraft. And then we'll get to any questions or concerns that we've missed so far. But Sylvia, do you want to mention a couple things?
Oh, yeah. I just want to say Minecraft's a very popular option, so we thought we'd throw it in. So the games we've talked about previously either involve just playing against other players, trying to figure out how you can play around them and outsmart them, so to speak. Talking about how you coordinate your teams, which involves like just using your own brain. We talked about communication being a key part of League of Legends. Also, you can just play, like you don't have to use a chat feature or a voice chat feature every time you play one of these games. You can just rely on your own intuition, rely on like other team members paying attention to what's going on. Minecraft is a little different. Heck, what are the advantages and benefits?
It's kind of like Legos. I mean,
it's kind of like Legos. You get to build stuff, and when you interact with people on here, you're interacting in terms of like creativity related stuff. You're working together as a team to find the right building materials you want. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, Mom, but
no, I was interrupting you because I was just looking for a way to. I like Minecraft. I like standing over the shoulder of my kids as they're playing, and I'm like, "What's that you're building? What's the lava? Is that a pig?" I mean, just all kinds of crazy conversations. But now tell us what this screen share is about. Is this
right? So there's two ways to play Minecraft multiplayer, and it's a single player game by nature. You just build stuff like Legos. But there's two ways to play multiplayer, so we'll just touch on each briefly. This is an example of a server, and these are run by companies or organizations, or sometimes just
friends,
people,
right?
Just friends. Yeah. You just have to have the right equipment, and you don't need to pay extra to run a server. You just have to have the hardware, the server itself, to host the Minecraft server. You can have people join. You can set up different special mods and things like that. And here's an example of how the chat works. This is just text chat, but you can also do voice chat. You work together to build stuff. You can also have realms. Realms are purchased through the company Minecraft, and they're hosted by Minecraft, but they work on a similar basis. If you're confused, if your kid wants to join a realm and he asks you, "Hey, can I join this realm, or can I play Minecraft with my friends on this server?" It's pretty easy to look up a server. So there's big name servers like Hypixel, or I think Minecraft. There's one just called Minecraft. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't played on the servers in a while, but there are servers you can look up. So you could ask your kid, if he asks you, "Hey, can I join a server or a realm?" And you say, "Okay, what's the name?" You can look it up, and you can probably, if it's reputable, if it's a good one for your kid to join, you can find some good data on it. But most servers are good, and most servers are harmless. It's just kids building things together.
So in thinking of it like Legos, when you're playing on a realm or a server, is it really just like two kids are on the same Lego carpet looking at each other's designs, or maybe even sharing Lego pieces? Is that kind of what it's like when you're playing?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's definitely some battle elements to it as well. You can obviously craft swords and pickaxes in Minecraft, and you can fight each other. So maybe you build an arena where you can battle your friends, and you can do that on a server or on a realm.
All right, great. Well, just in closing, you can stop the screen share there, Nick, and we'll just have a few final words. I know we're near we promised you just a 15-minute lunch break. So we're doing this, like I said, this is session 3 out of 10 sessions. We'll meet again tomorrow, and tomorrow we've already talked about which games we're going to be sharing with you, but we're going to share 2 or 3 other specific games, kind of how the games work, what questions parents might have or not have, and benefits and cautions, and how players communicate in game. And then next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be talking through many of the other issues that happen as parents are trying to figure out how to protect our kids in this crazy online digital world that we're living in. So Sylvia, Nick, any final words as you wrap up, sharing about League of Legends and Minecraft and the other things? Which of the ones we've shared about would you recommend for teenagers or kids of any age?
I'd say I'll be hesitant. I'd say it depends on the person.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and there's lots of different kinds of video games.
So many.
So many. So yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Sylvia.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say just a quick summary of how you interact with other people on online video games. They're also different. The mechanics are going to work differently on each video game. The goals are going to be different on each video game. One of the, I guess the three main things we talked about, how you're interacting with other people on these games. You're either strategizing with teammates, you're trying to outsmart other people, or you're like working with creative collaboration. And there are disadvantages to those. You got to really make sure that your kid knows about safety, which we're going to talk about later. You can lose your temper pretty quickly, but it also adds elements to games that you just can't get without other people playing on them.
Yeah. And if you're ever confused about what kind of game or what kind of collaboration your kid's game requires, you can go back to our previous lectures. You can go
previous webinars. Yeah, sure.
Webinars. Well, I'm in college, so everything I listen to is lectures. But our previous webinars talked about how to ask your kids questions about their games and about how they play online. So you can find out more about your kids' games by asking them those kinds of questions and referencing those previous webinars.
Sure. Yeah, and put in email us, put some notes in the chat, comment on Facebook, because we are definitely, it's still in the jello stages of the final sessions of this webinar. We welcome your feedback as we kind of finish planning and kind of put the jello into setting for what we're going to be talking about in the coming webinars, because we want this to be most beneficial to you. Because guys, it's a crazy world trying to, parenting, good old fashioned parenting is still the way to go. But that is just a little bit tricky for those of us digital immigrants trying to figure out how to interact with these digital natives. That's why I recruited these two guest speakers. They know a lot more about it than I do. So, so with that, I'll just sign off, but please join us again tomorrow. As they say, same time, same station.